Before I die, my sons must understand this. My name is Richard Whitemore. I am 72 years old, and for the first time in my life, my body has started teaching me lessons my mind spent decades trying to ignore. A few months ago, I sat inside a cold hospital room while a doctor explained things to me using words men like me pretend not to fear: progression, treatment, time, manageable, aggressive. Funny thing about life, son, when you are young, you think death arrives loudly, like war, like gunfire, like disaster, but sometimes it arrives quietly, in silence, in blood tests, in fatigue, in long nights staring at ceilings you once ignored because you were too busy building your empire. And strangely enough, this illness has done something success never could. It made me honest. Because when a man realizes time is no longer infinite, he stops performing. He stops pretending. He stops wasting energy saying things that sound impressive. And he finally says what matters. That is why I am here. Not to impress strangers, not to sound wise, not to build another business, but to leave something behind for my sons before my voice disappears from this earth. Listen to me carefully. Everything I am about to say was paid for in pain. Not theory, pain. I buried friendships I thought would last forever. I lost years chasing respect from people who secretly enjoyed watching me suffer. I built companies while my body slowly broke itself carrying responsibilities nobody could see. I sat in rooms filled with wealthy men and discovered money does not make men peaceful. Sometimes it makes them lonelier. Sometimes it makes them paranoid. Sometimes it simply gives them a larger prison to hide inside. And son, there is something I need you to understand before life teaches it to you violently. Most people are not living consciously. They are reacting emotionally through wounds they never healed. That includes friends, family, business partners, and sometimes even the people who claim to love you. I learned that lesson when I was 38 years old. Back then, I had a friend named Marcus. Marcus was charismatic, funny, always smiling, the kind of man everyone wanted around. But Marcus had something dangerous inside him. He secretly resented disciplined people. At first, I ignored it. Whenever I worked late, he mocked me. Whenever I avoided distractions, he called me obsessed. Whenever I became focused, he acted like I was abandoning people. I thought it was harmless until one day I realized something terrifying. Weak people do not always attack your life directly. Sometimes they simply normalize your downfall slowly. One drink becomes many. One distraction becomes habit. One compromise becomes character. And before you realize it, your standards disappear. Marcus eventually destroyed his marriage, destroyed his health, destroyed every opportunity placed in front of him. And the saddest part, he wanted company while sinking. Misery hates loneliness. Never forget that. One of the most dangerous things in life is spending too much time around people who are comfortable being average. Average thinking spreads quietly. I have seen disciplined men become lazy because of the people around them. I have seen ambitious men become insecure because weak people constantly criticize their dreams. I have seen strong men slowly shrink themselves to avoid making fragile people uncomfortable. Do not do that. Never apologize for becoming stronger. The world will try to shame disciplined men, especially today. If you work hard, they call you obsessed. If you protect your peace, they call you selfish. If you become emotionally controlled, they call you cold. Good. Let them talk. Most people are addicted to comfort, and comfort has destroyed more men than failure ever did. I learned that lesson during one of the darkest years of my life. I was 46. Money was everywhere. Success was growing. People respected my name, but internally, I was exhausted. I remember sitting inside my penthouse one rainy evening, staring at the city lights, wondering why success still felt empty. That was the night I realized something most men never admit publicly. Achievement without peace becomes another form of slavery. You can own buildings and still feel emotionally homeless. That realization changed me forever. From that moment forward, I stopped chasing applause. And son, you must understand this early. Attention is not respect. Many people will celebrate you publicly while secretly hoping life humbles you privately. Learn to separate admiration from loyalty. They are not the same thing. One of my wealthiest friends taught me this lesson accidentally. His name was Victor. Victor owned hotels across 3 countries, private jets, luxury homes, beautiful women everywhere. From the outside, his life looked perfect. But one night after too much whiskey, he looked at me and quietly said, "Richard, nobody around me actually knows me anymore." I never forgot that sentence because I realized wealth can attract people while simultaneously isolating you emotionally. That is why powerful men protect privacy. The older I became, the smaller my circle became, not because I hated people, because I finally understood access is expensive. Not everyone deserves closeness to your spirit. Some people enter your life to build with you, others enter your life to consume you. Learn the difference early, especially with women. And no, I am not telling you to fear women. I am telling you to pay attention. A woman can either multiply a man's peace or slowly destroy his clarity. I learned this too late. When I was younger, I confused beauty for emotional stability. Big mistake. Some women do not love men deeply. They love what the man provides emotionally. Security, validation, attention, lifestyle, direction. The moment those things disappear, their behavior changes. That truth broke my heart once. I remember sitting inside my car at 2 a.m. after an argument, realizing I was no longer speaking to the woman I fell in love with. I was speaking to someone evaluating me constantly, measuring me, testing me, punishing emotional weakness whenever she sensed it. That experience taught me something painful. Never build your identity around being needed, because people who need you are not always people who respect you. Real love brings peace, not constant emotional confusion. And son, please hear me carefully now. Protect your mind. Everything begins there. Your future, your wealth, your discipline, your confidence. All of it begins with the condition of your mind. The modern world is designed to weaken men mentally. Constant distraction, constant outrage, constant comparison, constant noise. Silence has become rare. That is dangerous, because a man who cannot sit quietly with his own thoughts becomes easy to manipulate. That is why I started walking alone years ago. No phone, no music, just silence. At first it felt uncomfortable. Then eventually, clarity returned. You start hearing yourself again. Most men today are drowning in other people's voices. Listen to your own. I also need you to understand something about masculinity. Real masculinity is not loud. It is not screaming online. It is not humiliating people. It is not pretending to dominate every room. Real masculinity is emotional control, calmness under pressure, discipline when nobody is watching, responsibility without applause, and most importantly, the ability to remain kind without becoming weak. That balance is rare, very rare. The strongest men I ever met were usually quiet. They did not need constant validation. They moved carefully, spoke carefully, trusted carefully, because life had already taught them how expensive bad decisions become. I wish I understood that earlier. Maybe I would have protected my peace better. Maybe I would have spent more time with the people who truly mattered. Because now, as this illness slowly forces me to slow down, I see life differently. You stop caring about status. You stop caring about winning pointless arguments. You stop caring about proving yourself constantly. You start caring about moments, conversations, family dinners, silence, sunlight, laughter, time, especially time. You never realize how valuable ordinary moments are until life quietly threatens to take them away. That is why I am making these videos. Not because I think I know everything, but because I know exactly how painful it is to learn certain lessons too late. And if my words can save one young man 10 years of confusion, then maybe this suffering meant something. So before I leave this world one day, there are a few things my sons must understand. Protect your peace more than your image. Choose disciplined people carefully. Do not confuse attention with love. Never stay loyal to people committed to staying weak. Guard your mind like a king guards borders. Walk away from emotional chaos early. And remember this above everything else. A peaceful life built slowly is worth more than a flashy life built for strangers. Because in the end, nobody sits beside your hospital bed impressed by your followers. They sit beside you because of how you made them feel. That is the real legacy of a man. Not money, not status, not applause, presence, character, peace, and son. If you still have time, go call your father. One day his voice will disappear too. If this video touched you, the best gift you can give me now is to make sure more people hear it by liking, sharing, and subscribing so you don't miss any of my last words. Pure lessons you won't hear twice from anyone. From my heart to yours, Richard Whitemore.